what just happened. Okay. Oh, we are live.
All right. Hey,
Continue
Facebook.
with the technological struggles that I keep putting out there for the world to see. But anyway, hello everybody. This is Lauren Green with Wilkinson ERA, and I am super duper excited to be joined today by my broker in charge extraordinaire, John Fitzgerald, also with Wilkinson ERA, obviously. And I'm super excited to talk with John and introduce him to all of you. He is a real estate expert in every way, shape, and form, and a very dear friend to me. The poor man hears from me at least several times a week and is always a wealth of information. So thank you very much for joining me, John.
You are most welcome. It is my pleasure. Thank you, Lauren.
Oh, well, so I want to just start out the interview asking you, how are you doing with this quarantine and this stay-at-home in Mecklenburg County?
Well, I'd never realized how much I enjoyed going to work until you can't go to work.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of us, we are people, and being people, we like to be around people, and that creates stress and strain on everyone. And so that's difficult, but mostly I'm really concerned about, because I'm also a very giving person, and I like to help others, and I'm feeling more angst, I believe, for others who are impacted by this than I am personally. I mean, personally, I'll get over it. I'm fine. But I do care. I do worry about a lot of my fellow realtors, a lot of my fellow neighbors and friends and family, making sure that they're okay. But it's different.
Mm-hmm. It is indeed. Are you keeping your sanity in check?
Well, that would assume that I had sanity before. So, I think that's, I do. My doctor's not going to be happy with my with my alcohol intake. So we're going to have to work on that. But I think that it is what it is. I'm really frustrated that I can't. We're being forced into certain cycles and certain paths. So my normalcy's done. So like my diet's shot. I can't get fresh fruit and vegetables like I used to get fresh fruit and vegetables and be able to cook and do things like that. So takeout is not anyone's friend for a long time. So I'm just hoping this ends quickly for my diet.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, listen, do you feel like, in the real estate business, things have slowed down as a result of this, or do you feel busier than ever? I know in some respects I feel busier than ever.
Well, I think things have changed. And number one, to your initial piece of the question, things have slowed down nationally. I was just doing some a little reading before our interview, and I noticed that nationally we're just under 30% down on listings. However, locally, we're only about 18% down. So as it was in 2008, we were not as impacted by the entire mortgage meltdown and financial crisis, because we were a little bit more insulated. Same's going on here. Our job growth is still strong. Our economy is still very vibrant. It's still a very desirable place to be. There's still people that are buying and selling homes right now. So we're only down a little bit, but the positive side of that is, if you are interested in buying or selling a home today, you're almost in a better position than you would have been a month ago. Well, maybe a month and a half ago, because there are fewer options on the table for sellers, because there are less buyers in the market. But the buyers that are in the market are now able to compete better, because there are not as many of them out there. So the people that are there, they're ready to do business, and it is being done. There's about, in the last 7 days, we had about 1,000 properties go under contract. About 800 closed in the same period of time, and we had 700 or so, 770 new listings hit the market. So
news. Yeah,
still happening.
And I feel like if there's a buyer looking right now, they are serious. You know, they are ready to buy now. Um,
Yeah, and I think that the other side of that is that because of the abundance of caution that we're approaching this, and making sure that you have a need, that you are qualified, so we're not endangering anyone by just casually showing homes, or having open houses where anyone can walk in. The people that are there have a real need or desire and are motivated to do what they have to do to get their house either sold or to buy a house. So you have less tire kickers, brick kickers, for lack of a better term.
Excellent points. I agree with you completely on that. So tell me, what are you focusing on individually to help Wilkinson ERA and your agents to come out of this current situation, stronger, better than ever? How are you helping the company, the firm, your agents to adapt to this situation and learn from it?
Well, that's a great question, and I'm really, really excited that we are able to still provide coaching, education, mentoring, training, and resources and tools to our agents during this time. One way is this beautiful headset I have here. I have
It's a good
been,
look, John.
yes, I have been uh, deeply engaged in Zoom meetings. So we have embraced the video conferencing technology known as Zoom, and we are having weekly meetings so that we can get updates to the staff. We're having all of our training. So all the existing training we had before is now all virtual. So now we're doing orientations, coaching, mentoring, and productivity-based training is being done on on-demand Zoom meetings. We're also introducing technology. Zoom, for example, our dot loop transaction management software, and our website and CRM platforms allow our agents to work pretty much virtually. So we're transitioning over to, let me show you how you can do the same things, but you're going to be able to do them a little bit more virtual than you did before. And the idea being that there's not going to we're not going back to normal at any time. Okay, that just, no, we're going to come out of this in a different environment, much like 9/11 changed air travel. This is going to change how we do real estate, because there's going to be people that are going to now be used to and enjoy remote, virtual, contactless interactions to do the transaction. So when I go on a listing presentation, I want my agents to be able to say, hello, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, I have this as our traditional listing package, or I can do a virtual listing package for you where you will have less interaction with people coming and going. And if you think about it, it's probably going to help. We're going to come out of this with a new type of product that we can deliver, much akin to what the iBuyer gave the seller.
Right.
A stress-free, you don't have to worry about packing up your belongings in 30-minute notice. You don't have to worry about vacating your house over the weekend. You don't have to worry about strangers coming in your house and picking over your things or getting into your medicine cabinet. You're going to be able to still sell your home because of the technology that we are now going to be used to using. So I'm very, very excited for the future. And what we're doing for our agents is we're bringing this technology to them so that they can come out now and have another tool in their toolkit and another value added benefit to their clients.
Well, I think that's an excellent perspective, John, and I think it's very positive. So that kind of leads into my next question, which was, how do you think the real estate market in our local market, real estate's going to change in our local market? And I guess you've already kind of answered that. Like, it's going to go a lot more virtual. Do you think buyers are going to get used to the idea of virtually seeing a home and potentially putting in an offer that way, or what do you see?
I do not believe that we're going to be able to eliminate the in-person showings, but I do think that what's going to happen is, instead of us caravanning around and seeing 5, 6, 7 homes, the savvy buyer is going to probably want to be able to see more things online, in video, three-dimensional tours of video tours of the home, so they can narrow down the list of homes they want to go see.
So you see this as an opportunity for buyers to become more efficient in their process.
Exactly, become more efficient. Once upon a time, I mean, if you think about, if you look back in our history, once upon a time we had, the listing books were just black and white information, and then pictures came out. Oh my goodness! Now then it was, well, I can put 16 pictures on my website. Well, I can put 24 pictures on my website. Realtor.com came out with special packages that added media. And so it's been a transition that's been going a while. So it's the next evolutionary step of it is to add some more on-demand video and ability to do some added research on the properties you're interested in. And then when you walk in one, boom, decision made. I think that they're going to be in a much better spot to make a decision if they can do some research ahead of time, and they love to research. This is a very educated group of buyers now at all age ranges. They're much more educated now than they were 10, 15 years ago.
So it probably would behoove sellers from this point forward to really seek out and partner with agents who are going to offer those additional technology, marketing tactics and things of that nature, correct?
Yes, I think the key denominator that is going to make a real estate agent or a realtor essential in a transaction is the value they bring to the client. And if I am able to come and say, in addition to the traditional method, I can give you this, or I can have some hybrid of it, or I can make your life easier by electronic delivery for contracts and documents. I can make your life easier by having on-demand video showings. It is going to be able to say, well, I'd rather do business with you because this is additional what you're bringing to the table. You have to be an expert on a lot of different things. You don't have to be perfect at them, but you've got to be knowledgeable about who to bring to the table. So, do you have a stage, or do you have some marketing angles and some national support from a national brand that provides you with exposure? Do you have access to brokers with more experience that can help walk you through a situation? Because as long as every transaction is different, and there are no two transactions that are alike, and you'll run into something different. I don't care how long you've been in this business. I get from people that are 30-year veterans, and they'll say, "I've never seen this before," and it's amazing. So if you have access to all those things, I think you'll bring value to the client.
Awesome. Well, let me just ask you this real quick. What is Wilkinson doing right now? Like, what kinds of things are they working on to help, sellers who are already listed when this all started, or, help buyers who are already serious with their agent and, finding the right home with the current restrictions in place? Do we have any adaptations to our processes or offerings as a firm to clients in that sense right now?
Well, what we've done is in Mecklenburg County, now this is kind of a situation where some people are going to look at this and go, well, what are you talking about? I can call my Wilkinson agent, and they can come out and do everything they need to do. And then you have other people to say, well, no, when I called my Wilkinson agent, they said they couldn't do these things. Unfortunately, Mecklenburg County and Guilford County for our Winston-Salem franchise are limited in what they can do. So what we have done in order to not miss a beat is we have partnered with people who are deemed essential. So if you are out there and you're thinking about maybe getting some advice on whether you should sell your house, or you want to talk with someone about selling your house in this new environment, we are prepared to have your home pre-inspected by a licensed home inspector for analysis for anything that may need to be addressed. We'll have your home professionally measured, and we'll have your home photographed for the MLS listings. We can arrange to have virtual showings of your home. And then from that, the contract process, if anyone is interested, is completely contactless. So we will be able to handle all the contract documents through e-signatures. And once we get through that stage, then your appraisers and any other home inspectors or any other contractors, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, plumbers, electricians, they're all essential. So they can go out and handle any repairs that need to be made. Once we're through that process, our attorneys are prepared to do closings in a safe and sanitary method that complies with the CDC guidelines and the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services guidelines. It's not completely remote because there are some physical signatures that have to be obtained, but if you are in a situation where you can't, we also have a process for remote mail-away closing. So we are prepared if you are thinking of selling or buying. The buying process is very similar. If you're thinking of selling or buying, Wilkinson ERA have virtual steps in place ready to assist you in the transaction.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you leaders in Wilkinson have really thought things through and found creative ways to make things continue to happen. You mentioned earlier that things have definitely slowed down, but they're still rocking and rolling in our market. And I just wonder, what are you thinking? Where's our market going to head once this order has been lifted? Do you think things are going to pick up?
I think that we were already in a position where price appreciation and the availability of affordable housing was already creating pressure on price, and we were going to be moving in a more our market was heavily centered on seller. And when I say that, what I'm talking about is the number of homes available on the market to sell is, we call this in month supply. So our month supply of homes was somewhere in the 1 to 3 range of months of supply, depending on your price point. Where a balanced market, where buyers and sellers enjoy the same benefits of the market, is a 6-month supply. So I think what's going to happen is this situation has just escalated that process a little bit. We were already going to move into a situation where there were going to be more and more homes on the market, which means the sellers were not going to be able to demand as much price. They were going to have to be more willing to negotiate with buyers, and we're already moving there. And I think this is just going to help that. So now what's going to happen is we'll have a much more even market as far as the amount of buyers who want to buy and the amount of sellers who want to sell, so that the sellers can still realize savings and get their equity from their appreciation, and buyers can still have a little bit of room to negotiate and to get something that works for them, and everyone comes out happy.
Sounds good to me. Awesome. Well, John, thank you so much. I know you're a super busy guy, and I really appreciate, as always, your input and your knowledge, and thanks so much for making the time to talk to me.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you.
Have a great day.
Okay.
Take care.